In this webinar, I will be discussing the implementation of COBIT. The first step will be to clarify what is expected from a COBIT implementation. The implementation of COBIT means different things to different people. The second step will be to select the processes that will be part of the COBIT implementation. Not all 37 processes may be required. The third step will be to determine which process instances are essential. For example, managing change is made up of process instances for emergency, standard, and trivial changes. Step 4 will be to map the enterprise's processes to the COBIT reference model. Step 5 will be to establish the gap and the improvement roadmap. Step 6 will be to build process capability. Keep in mind that some processes have a discrete life cycle, some are management systems, and some comprise a collection of ad hoc processes. The seventh step will be to control the work assigned in the COBIT implementation. And the eighth step will be to report the progress with the implementation of COBIT. Now let's look at these steps in some detail. Most approaches to implementing COBIT focus on stakeholder needs. These are usually translated through the organization's vision, business drivers, and priority of goals, and understood as a desired level of capability, pain points, or the need for improvements in either governance, risk, or compliance. The result will be an improvement in business processes driven using an implementation roadmap in accordance with an IT action plan. One approach, based on governance, risk, and compliance, is to work with executive management and the appointed sponsor to improve the implemented controls. Another approach is to work with business leaders and the appointed sponsors to address known pain points. A further approach would be to work with process owners through the continuous improvement programs to address known pain points. And finally, capability in processes can be driven through the process owners building capability sufficient to meet business needs. Note that an implementation of COBIT can be simple or complex. It really depends on the business requirement. The goal should be to ensure sufficient capability to support the business in delivering value to stakeholders. An outcome from a COBIT implementation could be the implementation of a governance and management framework, better risk management, continual improvement that addresses identified risks or compliance obligations, removal of a particular pain point, process optimization aligned with selected outcomes, identification of key process practices and work products, closure of gaps in process activities and process work products, better management of risks associated with the performed process, better management of risk associated with the process work products, standardized processes enterprise-wide, increased integration and synergy across the enterprise, improved capability of the processes to perform as expected, including respect for human rights through improved data protection, protection for a hostile environment through information security, reduced opportunity for error and fraud through quality practices and a system of internal control, the fulfillment of specific compliance obligations through internal controls, increased effectiveness and efficiency through innovative practices, improved organizational memory through documentation and record keeping. Often the implementation of COBIT is to implement governance for enterprise IT. This would comprise building a governance and management framework using the COBIT model with its 3 layers of accountability and process domains for those who govern, those who manage, and those who leverage the IT resources to deliver the services and value expected from the information and technology resources. A governance and management framework can be implemented as a system to coordinate and orchestrate the many information and technology activities, with layers for governance of enterprise IT and layer for the management of enterprise IT. A governance and management system provides the governors with tools to monitor how information and technology is being used to create value. Various dashboards highlight the percent of work completed in each process, the status of the work being performed, assess the ratings provided, current capability levels, the level of risk, and other performance metrics. Before the COBIT implementation can commence, it's necessary to identify the essential processes that will be within scope. These could be the governance processes, the management system process, operational processes, management processes, design and development processes, risk management, or internal control and compliance processes. There are a number of ways to select the processes that will fall within the scope of the COBIT implementation initiative. The selection can be based on risk, pain points, value delivery, or specific domains such as cloud computing, cybersecurity, information governance, information security management, quality management, service integration and management, and other areas of particular benefit to the organization. COBIT provides a goal cascading method to identify the processes. Using this COBIT implementation scoping tool, start by identifying the enterprise goals. Select one enterprise goal. The first selected enterprise goal identifies just one IT goal. Select another enterprise goal. This second enterprise goal identifies a few more IT goals. The identified IT goals are supported by these COBIT 5 processes. Some or all of these processes should be included in the COBIT implementation. Determine which process instances are essential. Identify which activities and work products in a process are the most important in delivering the desired outcomes, and include these process instances in the scope of the COBIT implementation. Determine which activities and work products in the process are essential. For this, first we need to select the process outcomes to be achieved. Now we have a few less outcomes to be achieved, and now even fewer outcomes are to be achieved. Next, we need to identify the activities to be performed for each selected outcome. This tool automatically maps the selected activities to the process and its best practices. Next, we need to identify the work products that support these activities. This we do through looking at intra and inter-process activities. A COBIT implementation may be aimed at process optimization or lean IT, where only the essential activities and process work products are kept to achieve the selected outcomes. These are the typical planned outcomes for the process managed enterprise architecture. If not all of the outcomes are required, then clearly not all of the process activities and work products may be necessary. A COBIT implementation may be used to optimize processes. If you don't need all the process outcomes, then you may not need all the activities. Avoid wasteful expenditure on redundant activities and work products. If these are the outcomes, and these are the process activities, remove the outcomes that are not required, and remove the process activities that are not required. Identify the process activities that are required to deliver the selected outcome, and identify the work products that support the identified activities to achieve the selected outcomes. It's important to adapt the COBIT processes to the business needs. Add process activities that are not part of COBIT. COBIT is often implemented to manage risk. Examine each activity and work product in a process for the existence of risk. Determine its nature and its level. Use the knowledge base to maintain information about vulnerabilities for each process. Record any identified risk using the governance and management system. For example, capture information about the risk owner, the risk type, the risk impact on the business, the risk level, and the risk response. Use the governance and management system to create a risk register. Report information about the management of risk. Sometimes the implementation of COBIT is to improve controls and identify instances of compliance obligation that need attention. For example, architecture principles may be missing and therefore should be added to the enterprise architecture process. Use the governance and management system's knowledge base to capture information about the controls and implement the control in accordance with the remediation priority and provide a control cross-reference. If a control has many components, these can be captured as subtasks, assigned, and tracked through to completion. The governance and management system can address specific controller groups. It can also integrate a number of frameworks. For example, ISO 27001 can be the management framework for information security, focused on managing cybersecurity, implemented and operated using the COBIT processes. The implementation of security measures using COBIT can be matched to other popular control frameworks. Once implemented, control should be monitored. Here, the governance and management system is used to track the control. The governance and management system can also be used to record and map policies, contractual obligations, and laws to specific actions. Here we see the specific action as activity 1661, which is executed in the COBIT process. You can also use the governance and management system to improve process capability and compliance. Specific attributes of the process can be identified and addressed. Use a governance and management system to map enterprise process activities to the COBIT process activities. Record details of the enterprise process reference in the management system alongside the process activity. The system can record how the COBIT process activities map to the enterprise process activities. The system can also record how the COBIT process activities map to other process frameworks. Use a governance and management system to plan and schedule tasks. Assign tasks to the roles with responsibility for action. Provide roles with additional information regarding input and output. Each role can add notes, files, or captured screens to record progress. Ensure the COBIT implementation activities deliver the selected outcomes. Align activities with trackers. Note the type of COBIT process will influence the implementation. Processes with a discrete life cycle are largely focused internally, for example, managing requests and incidents, or manage programs and projects, or manage change. Some processes are systemic. They coordinate, orchestrate, and choreograph work across multiple processes. For example, managing suppliers, or manage quality, manage risk, or manage security. While other processes comprise a collection of ad hoc tasks. For example, establishing a governance framework, managing a management framework, or managing operations. Implement COBIT, record the status, and record the percentage done. Make use of a wiki to provide additional information to support the work being done. Make use of the wiki to capture information. Make use of the wiki to record data flow. Add templates and examples for the work products. These templates can be downloaded and used to assist with the process execution. Add a knowledge base. Capture additional process information in the knowledge base. Collect evidence to demonstrate each process activity and work product has been implemented. Report progress with the COBIT implementation. Record percentage done, outputs delivered, and due dates. A governance and management system can help with the COBIT implementation in many different ways with many different outcomes.